This is the first video I do on my F150 2022, and today I'll be installing the S&B Cold Air Intake. Just got the box here from American Trucks, so I'll be opening this up, setting it up, and installing it. This is the first video I do on my truck, so let's see how it turns out. So this shouldn't be too complicated. Just removing the cold air intake here, a couple of screws, bolts, removing it from the section here, the throw of the body, and then installing the other components. Before I swap it, I'm going to turn on the truck and hit the accelerator just to see how it sounds with the stock intake, and we'll go from there. Alright, so first we're going to remove the clamp right here with the 7mm. Pretty easy. Just remove that and then take it apart. Alright, so you wiggle it out. You can take out this line out of this clamp section. And then we can do the same thing. Remove this clamp from the throttle body, 7mm. Repeat the process so we can take this whole thing out. Okay, so now we're gonna push same thing, this clamp around, and we should be able to pull this back. Just wiggle it around until it comes loose, and then now we can take it out of here. Just rotate it around until you can take it out. We need to disconnect the valve back there. So to disconnect this, you're gonna have a little blue tab behind this clip. You're gonna squeeze it up and then just push back, pull it back, and it should slide. You see this little clip here? This is what we're pushing up and then sliding back. And then you can wiggle this out with the intake air too. All right, this came out. So now we're gonna remove the push clips out of the intake hose. I have this little pry tool, but you can use a screwdriver. This is just easier because you can wiggle this under without damaging them. So I'm gonna try to do that now. Again, you can also use a screwdriver here, but you can apply a little bit of leverage here. So that's one, that's two. You can wiggle them out very carefully so you don't break them. But if you end up breaking one, you can replace these very easily. So here's one, and here's the other one. Now we can remove this bolt here. It's gonna be a 13mm. My extension is too long. It should come out pretty loose, pretty easy. So after you remove this bolt, you can just pull this box up. You may wiggle it a little bit so you loosen it up. You can take the box out. So here are the parts of the original. Here's the S&B one. I'm gonna set that up, but I'm gonna put something down so I don't scratch it up. And then I'm gonna clean. I always like to clean the surfaces that I'm gonna work on after I remove my parts. So I'm gonna spend some time just to clean the brackets and this whole area so it just looks clean and it's just better looking. So this is what it looks like after I hit it with some cleaner. Just waterless car wash from Chemical Guys. I just sprayed it so it looks clean and nice before we put in the new box. Okay, so here we have the parts. We're first going to see what we got. So we're going to be using since mine is a 2022 model, these intake can fit an 18 model as well, up to 20, and then from 21 and up, I think you have to plug this extra inlet or outlet, and then we'll have to put the PCV valve connection here on this side. So for that, we're going to tighten this up using a 3/4 wrench. But first, we're going to, let's see, we're going to do it with our hand just to make sure we're not messing up the threads. All right. And then okay, so once this is, don't over tight this, just make sure it's snug and tight, and you can break this if you go too intense, so just make sure there are no visible threads, and then you're done. Now we're gonna plug this section with the 9/16. Same concept. Looks like this one doesn't go all the way. It just stops right there, so that's just the design of it. If I was engineering this, I probably would have made it where it's completely flush, but that's as far as it goes. Okay, so now I need to transfer this rubber grommet over into our new box, and in order to do that, I'm going to remove this metal bushing first. So you put a flathead screwdriver, just pull it out like so. So then we can slide this rubber out. I'm gonna need both hands here. Just rotate it, just inspect it, make sure it's in good condition. You can clean it if you want, I'll do that. So after cleaning it, this is what it looks like. We're gonna slide this in here now, like that. And then I'm going to put the metal piece once again from the inside out. So from here, and just push it in. Like so. That's it. Now slide this clamp on this rubber grommet, and then you have this tab. This is gonna go in here in the inlet of the intake box, and with this tab down. So now we're going to slide the rubber inlet into here, and then we're gonna lock these little holes together with some of these reverse clips. So I'll show you what the mechanism looks like. So you see these clips, you're gonna put one from the top, one from the bottom, and they're supposed to interlock and push in almost like a zip tie, but in opposite directions. So now we can take the box and put it back in. After the box is in, you lined up the eyelets underneath. You can put the bolt back on the sidewall. So now we can do the 2 push clips. 1. 2. Secure. Something I've noticed is that before this model used to have the S&B logo here. It doesn't have it anymore. It's interesting. But it does have it on the box, on the inside when I saw it, but it's not up here anymore. I think I liked it up here. Okay, so now we're gonna take this grommet and I'm gonna put one of the clamps over it. We're gonna slide this in the throttle body, tighten this 8mm, put another clamp on this side, and then put the tube. I'm gonna slide this in. Make sure it slides all the way. So we have it in place. Make sure we feel it all around. Make sure it's snug in there, tight. And you can tighten up. You can tighten up the clamp. Don't go overboard. until you secure everything, but just have it in place. So slide the second clamp in, just like this, so we can put the inlet line and then tighten everything up. All right, so here's the line. I'm gonna guide this under. Okay, so I push this in. Now I can align. I push this in, you see here. Don't tighten it yet. And then I can align this inlet now. All right, so I have these tightened up here now. There we go. You hear that click. Now we can put the filter in, tighten this, and then put the lid. Now we can put our filter in here, slide it in, and tighten the clamp with the 8mm, and then same thing with this clamp right here. All right, and here we have the product. So now it's time to install the plexiglass on the grommet, and then we can set it in here. So I'm gonna do that now, and then show you. So here's the final product. Very nice. Now we're gonna test it out. See if we hear any difference. So here's the final look. The logo's up there. Clean the plexiglass. It came a little scratched from the factory, but it's fine. And checked all the clamps to be tight. The grommet went around, connected here, and there we go. Good installation. I test drove it and runs pretty good. I also rotated the filter. I noticed that I had left it with the seam in the center. So here's what it looks like. After rotating it, you can do it either way. I'm pretty happy with it.